of them will have to bow out tonight. Other one will stay alive. Okay, should be restarted in a second. Alright, sorry about that. Alright, so basically to recap, so the equipment glitch went like this. Basically what happened was that in the PlayStation Portable version, when you're in the equipment menu, if you change the screen so that you're selecting another party member, but at the same time you're selecting a weapon, basically put it this way, if you take a weapon, you're switching to another character and you're selecting a piece of armor, it's not looking at the weapon ID in the weapon table, it's looking at the armor ID. And vice versa if it's armor and weapons. So basically, we're using this to glitch items that we should not have at this point in the game. What we did was that we took the hammer, which coincidentally has the same ID in the armor table as the knight's armor. Knight's armor is a pretty powerful piece of armor. It's not godlike by any means, but for the first 15-20 minutes or so of this run, it's going to do just fine. Now we see Shin getting the leather cap, and we're going to be doing the exact same thing here. Leather cap is a helmet, and when you switch it to the weapons table, it's going to show as the Judgment Staff. Judgment Staff, it's a staff, so it's not really, it's good enough for where we are at the start of the game, but the Judgment Staff does have one interesting capability. If you use it as an item in battle, you can use the Flare spell. Flare is the most powerful magic spell in the game, and we're going to be using that quite a bit, especially in the early going. And as we see on Shin's side, takes down Garland. No problems there at all. Again, we don't have a fantastic weapon at the moment, but just a few hits with the Judgment Staff will take him down without any issues at all. And Taralyn's going to take down Garland as well. One other thing to explain regarding the equipment glitch. When we're selecting a weapon and we're selecting armor on the other side, the game's also not doing a check for what kind of armor it is. So that's how our runners could be equipping knight's armor in the glove slot. So it's not checking to see, are you equipping armor, are you equipping a helmet? It's just checking to see, are you equipping armor? And it's putting that piece of armor, whatever it might be, in that slot. Now, you are going to notice later on in the run, we're not going to be equipping a lot of stuff in the shield slot. That's only because shield slot items need to have an item animation associated with it, so when you're blocking, it actually has an animation. A lot of pieces of armor don't, which would cause a soft block, which really wouldn't be a good way to end a race. There are going to be a couple of cutscenes in the run. Most of them are skippable. This one, unfortunately, is not. So we did have to spend about a minute of time waiting for this drawbridge to be built. However, when we cross the bridge, again, if you're playing the NES version or anything like that, this would not be skippable. However, in the PSP version, just one button press and we're off. So now that we took down Garland, Shin's going to start the walk over to Provoca, because next thing is we need a ship. And of course, like in many games, ships are usually guarded by pirates. Now I notice Shin is going through the forest here. A lot of forest tiles are unavoidable in the game, but at the same time, we do want to try avoid forest tiles if we can, because they do have a higher risk of encounters. The way the PSP version works for encounters, I believe it is incrementing a random number, and if you go through the forest tiles, it's going to increment that faster. So, Shin is now in the pirate fight, and this is going to be pretty simple. Again, Judgment Staff is Flare. It does have a long animation, but it is good enough for take down these pirates without any hassle at all. Now you do notice, of course, the Judgment Staff does have a long animation, but we're going to be seeing if we can tweak that a little bit in the later game. The old runs, the old routes we were using only use the Judgment Staff, which is fine, but at the same time, if you run into a lot of battles where you need to use it, it's going to take some time. So, there are other spells, other items we can use that don't have such a long animation time, and if we run into some encounters that we have to get through, we want to get through them as quickly as possible. And Shin did not get a letter shield drop. Like I was saying, there are certain ways, there are certain items that we do want to glitch just so we don't have that much delay if we do have to fight monsters, basically. The letter shield is one of the items that can be used as a glitch later on. Again, we're going to glitch into another item. It is possible, though, that the pirates could drop that item, and if they do, it does save us a little bit of time running to the shop. So, Taralyn does her shopping as well in Provoca. Meanwhile, Shin is going to be stopping over in Elfland, getting some gold needles, which are a safety item. If somebody's actually doing a PB attempt or a world record run, they might not be stopping to get those, or probably wouldn't be. But at the same time, we do want to get through this run in one piece, and there is a chance, in fact, just about 15-20 minutes from now, that we could be running into a couple of enemies that could wreck someone's run. So gold needles, they cure petrify status, and we will be seeing some enemies shortly that could petrify the entire party. And we're not going to have any way of defending against that until much later on in the game. So, Shin is making his way over towards the marsh cave. So, to recap, this is the fetch quest part of the game. Basically, what we need to do now is we need to find a way to get out of this little, I would say little lake that we're in, because we have a very small area that we can travel with our ship right now. So basically, to get that, we would need to allow the dwarves to blow up part of the land with nitro powder. For that, we would need to get it from the treasury in Canaria. However, we need a key to get that. The key is held by the Prince of Elfheim, who is currently asleep because of a spell that was cast on him by Astos. The witch Matoya has the cure to that, however, she can't see at the moment. Astos has the crystal that would allow her to see, so that should be happy enough to give you the magic, the jolt tonic that would cure the prince from his coma. So we have to beat Astos to get that, and that's why Shin just got the crown. The crown is the first item in that fetch quest. Astos won't even reveal themselves to us until we get that crown. So this is the only major fest quest in the game. A little complex, but thankfully this is one of the few times that we have to run back and forth having to juggle all these items around. And Shin actually with a really good time, just under 10 minutes getting that crown, which actually is not bad pace at all. See in chat, Chris is voting for Shin. Even though Shin told him not to, voting for him anyways. And while Shin makes his way over to face Astos, Taralyn's going to take on the what you would call wizards in the NES version, Sicko Demons in future versions. Again, one Judgment Staff hit, no problem at all. So again, this is one of the parts in the game RNG RNG is going to play a part in a lot of the run, but especially here, a lot of forest that we do have to go through. So again, it is possible, in fact it's actually very likely that some of our runners might be getting several battles in a row here on these hikes that they're going to be doing back and forth. But Shin doesn't have too much problem making it to Astos. So again, general thing in the RPG, there's always going to be a king or a queen that's not who you think they are. Turns out this is actually the Dark Elf King Astos. And it's not going to be too much of an issue. One thing that he can do, which is annoying, is that he can cast Death as his first move, which does have a high chance of hitting. Good thing is it would only hit one party member, and he didn't even use it first round, so this should be a one-round Astos. Yep, no problems there. So again, by beating Astos, we're going to be getting the Crystal Eye, which is part number 2 of this fetch quest. Again, Crystal Eye is going to go to Matoya to cure her blindness. And there we go. Chris knows what's going on here. Good job, Chris. Chris here's I'm a pretty good commentator, which, given how this is the first time I'm commentating for the tournament, okay. I'll go with what he says. Alright, so Taralyn is going to be taking on Astos right now, and there's the death spell. And down goes her fighter. So again, annoying. This is why at the start of the game we did buy potions and antidotes and Phoenix Downs. So is a little bit annoying because she is going to miss out on a little bit of experience, but that's all going to balance out later on in the run. Still ends up being a one-turn Astos even with the death. So meanwhile, Shin's going to be making his trip up to Matoya's cave, and again, like I said before, a lot of forest in this part of the game. If at all possible, we'll try to step on grass tiles or anything else, if possible. It could save a little bit of time, but again, the RNG is pretty strong, and it's going to be really strong in the first 20-30 minutes of the game, but even though Shin has a bit of a lead right now, that really means nothing at this point. You're going to notice in this game that even if somebody has a minute, 2-minute lead at this point, the lead can still shift around a few times. So we'll see what the game has in store for us tonight. And Shin has obtained his Jolt Tonic. So again, he's just one step away from getting that key. And in chat, Chris is switching teams left and right. Shin let me down when he lost the Kib. Well, I think at the moment a lot of people are losing the Kib, so don't know if anyone's letting anyone down, especially losing to the one who has already 127 times in this tournament. 127 is a fantastic time in this game to begin with. It's unbelievable when it's in a race situation. And Taralyn running into Sahagins, this is not the fight that you want at this point in the game. We are going to have a lot of agility pretty soon, actually, but we don't at the moment. We have enough to run away from a lot of fights, but Sahagins, yeah, she's using a Judgment Staff. It's probably the right call, because it is possible to run from these guys, but it is also possible to spend 2-3 turns trying to run from them at this point. Now, Shin does have his magic key. And what he's doing, he runs out of the castle, runs right back in to grab the Mithril Hammer. And again, we're going to be doing some more glitching right here. We're going to be using the Mithril Hammer and switching it into a Thieves Armlet. And we're not just going to be satisfied with putting one of those on, we're putting them in the helmet, armor, and glove slots. This is going to give us a lot more, as you can see here. Not only a huge defense boost, but a huge evasion boost as well. This is going to make it easier to run from battles right off the bat. So, Taralyn's Sahagin battle, she has the Thieves Armlets on her. Again, it's not a guaranteed run, but the odds shoot up quite a bit. So now we have our boost. We are going to go back to the castle here to get that nitro powder that we need. Now, old route, we would just run in and grab one chest. Not sure if Shin's gonna wait. Nope, he does grab the nitro powder. And yeah, he's gonna go grab the mithril knife as well. That's gonna be used to glitch another spellcasting piece of armor just a little later on. Well, to be fair, Chris, yeah, I mean, she got a 140 against you, I think. You know that she's not going to do that twice in a row. Let's be perfectly honest. Now Taralyn grabs her key. Again, Taralyn probably about a minute and a half, 2 minutes behind. But again, at this point in the game, nothing to freak out about. This isn't the end of the world or anything like that. But again, she grabs bronze gloves. Okay, going with Sage's staff. And Taralyn having a little bit of issue with the menuing. While Taralyn equips her Thieves' Armlets, Shin has just pretty much taken out part of the world, taken out part of the continent with that nitro powder, but at the same time, it does mean that we are free from this little area, and we are going to be free to go on to our next major dungeon, which is the Cavern of Earth. So now Shin is making his way, still having a bit of trouble running from the wolves. Alright, so Shin has gone into Melmond, and first thing he is going to pick up the Steel Gloves. Steel Gloves are going to be used right now to glitch. Sorry, just a couple interruptions there. So Shin was using the Steel Gloves there to glitch the most powerful weapon in the game, which is the Barbarian Sword. And Barbarian Sword is, aside from bosses, it's pretty much going to one-shot everything that we face going forward. Okay, so now Cavern of Earth. Unique dungeon, that this is the only dungeon that we're actually going to have to visit twice. And we're actually going to have to come out of it at the halfway point and then go back in just a few minutes. So a little annoying, to say the least. So now we're going to see Shin... Ooh. Okay, here we go. He's going to lay down a safety save. Now, you are able to save at any point in the PSP version. Now, one thing though is that this floor is the first dangerous floor in the game because we do have cockatrices. They are the ones that can petrify your party, and if they're to ambush you, it could lead to a wipe. Shin's actually having a pretty good third floor here. And we are going to be facing the Vampire, so Vampire is guarding the Star Ruby, and Vampire is going to go down in just a couple seconds. Yeah, one-shot KO with the Barbarian Sword. So, Star Ruby, we are going to be using to feed to a Titan to get a progression item that we need, because if we go through that door there, we're actually not going to be able to proceed much further in this dungeon until we have the Rod, which is what Shin's going to be running for next. Shin is actually making really good time. He's getting some really good RNG to start off this run. And taking on some Wraiths now who've already paralyzed. Another thing that we have to watch out for is Paralock. Paralock's basically going to be Yep, and he's using the Mage's Staff just to get rid of these guys again. Again, one thing here is that that was a runnable encounter. We can run away from Wraiths, but they're not the easiest thing to run away from, plus they can paralyze the whole party if we don't watch it. So Shin's going to be making his way out now, and he's going to be making his way towards the Titan's Cave. While Taralyn is now doing her glitching to get the Barbarian Sword. Alright, and I do believe that Leno's going to be joining me in just a minute. And by just a minute, there he is.
Surprise guest appearance.
Awesome, how you doing?
Doing good. Just got home from work.
Yeah, just getting ready to go to sleep later on and get up and go to work, so yeah.
What have I missed? Looks like Taralyn is going to Earth Cave. I don't know if that's first or second visit. And Shin on his way to Ancient Sage who sports a rockin' beard.
Yep, pretty much. Shin's actually been getting some really good RNG to start off the run. Taralyn just losing a bit of time here and there, but again, it's still early. Shin actually had a really good Earthquake third floor, actually pretty solid, even with a questionable encounter against some Wraiths, but other than that, he's actually been having a good run so far.
Okay. Excellent. Alright, the cat wants out. I'll be right back.
No problem. Let her out. Or him out. So, Shin has fed the... Taralyn's got some Sicko Demons. So, we have to go to the Old Man. Old Men always have important items in RPGs. He's no exception. He's going to give us the Earth Rod, which is what we need to progress in the Cavern of Earth. Okay, that's one way of taking care of them. Taralyn gets through the Sicko Demons, and she'll be taking on the Vampire right now. A little bit of a pause there. What you do want to do is exactly that. You just want to slash them to bits. Star Ruby for Taralyn, while Shin gets ready for trip number 2 into the Cavern of Earth. Ooh, another Sicko Demon encounter. Taralyn, hopefully she's getting all the bad RNG out of the way early in this race. Yeah, and Shin safety saving again. Don't blame him. In a race, you're going to see virtually everyone safety save, and Taralyn runs into some cockatrices, but it was a preemptive strike, so no issues there. Quick run.
All right, I am back. My roommate decided to call me right as I let the cat out.
No worries.
Yeah. And looks like Taralyn got hung up there for a second.
Yeah, and another cockatrice encounter, but this one's not a preemptive. This one was an ambush. Got through it without any problems. Only one party member turned to stone, but that could have been a lot worse. And if anybody did watch the earlier race, the earlier four-way race, you'll know exactly why a cockatrice ambush can be a run killer.
Oh, looks like, wow, Taralyn's white mage already has 200 hit points. That's, she's in good position.
Oh yeah, really good position early on. But meanwhile, Shin is making his way, takes out the Wraiths, not gonna take any chances with trying to run away from those right now. Because he's just about at Lich. So again, we should see another safety save here from Shin, because Lich can start off with a Blizzara attack. He can start off with magic, and even though we are extremely powerful and have a lot of physical defense, we have no magic defense at all to speak of right now, so that will wipe the party. Like it just did.
Oh, Shin showing his luck from earlier matches where he had to reset 4 times before Lich finally said, okay, you can pass.
Right, and it happened to me earlier today too. I mean, it's not uncommon at all to see Lich do it once or even twice, but, you know, it happens. And like I said, at this point in the game, even though we're really powerful, we can't take one of those right now. And there we go. One round Lich on the second try, he'll take it. So with that, Shin gets to, well, we all get to sit through a little cutscene. There's going to be 4 of these unskippable cutscenes after we beat each fiend. Meanwhile, Taralyn has gotten through the Titan's cave, so she'll be picking up her rod now.
It seems like Shin had either some really good RNG or Taralyn's had some really bad RNG or some combination of the two. Because this is a pretty healthy lead Shin has right now.
Well, she's had, from what I've noticed, she's had a couple of menuing issues, but at the same time, it's been pretty much the RNG. Shin's just slowly building a lead. It was probably about 2-minute lead or so by the time we had gotten through Dwarf Cave to get the canal. He's been picking up some time here, but at the same time, there are going to be a couple of chances for Taralyn to try chip away at that, or for Shin to give up some of that lead. And in fact, one of those is coming up very soon, which would be the Ice Cavern.
Ice Cavern doesn't like anybody.
Oh no, it almost didn't like me earlier on today. I had to make a judgment call on one fight. let's just say when you run into 2 white dragons and you have to roll the dice and say, yeah, I'm gonna fight them, and thankfully it was the right call. Okay, Shin just... Okay. I was wondering, because even if you have trouble with Sahagins at this point in the game, second try wouldn't hurt at all, so he got away. That's the important thing.
Shin's thief and white warrior fighter, yeah, sword dude, has is in good HP range for the Thundara kill later on.
Yep, they're in good HP range for that. For those wondering what Leno means, basically we are going to be doing a little bit of a grind in a few minutes, or Shin is going to be doing a bit of a grind, and we just want to have the mages alive, so the easiest way to do that is just to make sure that our warrior and our thief have next to no hit points once we enter the ice cavern, so they're in really good range for that right now. Plus, Black Mage does have enough max HP to where there shouldn't be a concern at all with getting that grind off. Another Sicko Demon encounter for Taralyn, while Shin does do some more menuing. This time we are going to be upgrading our Thieves' armlets to black garbs, and at the same time glitching a black robe as well, so we have access to the Blizzara spell for later. And as well, Shin is equipping the Lust Daggers on his mages, so they are perfectly set up for the grind coming up, and at the same time, they are going to have a nice little agility boost going forward.
Oh, Taralyn luck with some wraiths.
Yeah, Taralyn, she is not having a good herb cave at all right now. A lot of Sicko Demon encounters, plus this Wraith encounter. I mean, Wraiths are hard to run away from, but like I said, if something is going to paralock you in this dungeon, it's probably going to be the Wraiths. And Shin has his canoe, so that's the next progression item he needed, so he will be able to make his way towards the ice cave right now. Alright, so we are going to be taking just a little bit of a trip here. That's... well, Taralyn is ready now to fight Lich, and hopefully, with how her luck's gone, hopefully it's a one-try Lich.
Yeah, I did not see her safety saves. I'm a little worried about this. I mean, the White Mage will survive, even if Lich gets Thundara off, or Blizzara.
No worries.
A little bit of a clench.
Yeah, I mean,
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Maybe I could see because the White Mage did have enough hit points that it actually could have survived the Blizzara. It's quite possible, but I don't know, unless Taralyn, unless she's already thinking that she's behind and she needs to try and make up time, which there's still plenty of time for that, so I don't know if the YOLO strats are exactly... It's time for the YOLOs right now. And one of the reasons that we hate Cavern of Ice, encounters like this, Shin taking on 7 Sigil Demons, which means that we are going to have to break out that Judgment Staff to get rid of them. And this isn't an uncommon encounter. We could be facing a few of these going forward in this dungeon. Cavern of Ice has a lot of encounters that we do not want to see. Mind Flayers we don't want to see. Psychic Demons we don't want to see just because they waste time. Cockatrices we don't want to see. White Dragons we definitely don't want to see. Dark Wizards we really don't want to see. And of course Wraiths. So there are a lot of encounters here that could wreck somebody's day. This is one of the... maybe we're gonna see our runners do 1 or 2 safety saves here. There's a reason why. There is a good potential to wipe in this dungeon.
Yeah, there's actually lots of chances to wreck in this dungeon.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's a couple of enemies, especially first time you're playing through this game, you might run into something like a couple of Dark Wizards, go, okay, this doesn't look bad, and then because we have no magic defense, we're wrecked. And then ambushed by Mind Flayers, and that's one of the reasons, because Shin just had his Fighter and Thief go down, but this... Oh! And Paralock on the Magus.
This is bad.
This is really
I wonder if he'll just eat it and do a soft reset.
I would, because I mean, the first thing you think, if he just got the Fighter and Thief killed off, I'd say, okay, great, that's going to save him some time for the grind, but yeah, this doesn't look good at all. Yeah, I agree, Leno. If I was Shin right now, I would do a soft reset, just cut my losses, and just start over fresh.
Well, he's still hoping, it looks like. Oh, never mind.
Never mind. For those of you that don't know, as you saw, Mind Flayers do have Death Touch, so they can one-hit KO anyone. Shin did, however, safety save isn't that far away, so not too bad, but again, those are the kind of things that Taralyn's hoping for. That will help her make up a little bit of time. And here are the Dark Wizards we were talking about, but again, Dark Wizards, you're either going to get a preemptive strike against them, or it's going to be an ambush. So preemptive strike, no big deal. Ambush, you probably are going to have one finger on the reset button. And now Shin has single Mind Flayers just taunting him right now. Meanwhile, Taralyn, does she know that one of her party members, or is it the Fighter or Thief that's poisoned? Yep, Fighter's poisoned, so I can see why she's keeping that on him.
If he is able to stay alive until halfway through the ice cave, then that's perfect. She only has to worry about killing off the Thief then.
Sure. Okay, so Shin has made it back up to the first floor. Gonna drop through the hole here. And now it's gonna be time for the grind. So what we want to do here is we want to get both our mages up to level 18. So that way they're going to be in position to learn all the spells we want to know for this run. And this is not how we do it.
No, I noticed that as soon as he went in, like, he did not heal his mages. And I don't think he saw that until afterward.
No, he noticed that. I think he noticed that right off the bat. So what we do want to do is what he's doing here. So heal up the mages first. The mages, when they're defending, they're going to be able to take a Thundara shot when they're defending. However, as you're going to notice here, Warrior and Thief are going to go down. So it's going to be pretty easy now. They have less dagger, which means they're pretty much always going to be attacking first. And they're just going to be doing this several times while we pick up the Levy Stone, just so we can get the airship. Keynote, do not forget to pick that up. But we are just going to be doing a couple of fights here until they get to level 18, and that'll be good enough for the rest of the way. We'll also be keeping an eye on the Black Mage's hit points, although at 135 right now, I don't think we're going to have too many concerns with a low hit point Black Mage, which could be danger later on. Over on Taralyn's side, she is making up some ground right now, so she is making her way down Ice Cavern. One thing that Shin is going to watch out for, though, this is a trap tile. That's why we're walking over the tile multiple times to take on the Evil Eye. We are always going to get that encounter. It is possible, though, that we could get an encounter as soon as we step off that tile. It is pretty rare, but it is something to keep in mind.
Fortunately, with the Black Garbs and Lust Daggers, the chances of wiping should be pretty minimal.
Should be, depending on the encounter.
Yep, but that means nothing if you get an ambush.
Exactly. And at level 18, so it's probably going to do one more fight here. Yep, and now we'll just heal up. We'll revive, probably going to revive the Thief. Yep. And we're good to go.
Shin's Black Mage is already at 193 hit points. That's good.
Yeah, we're worried about the hit points of the Black Mage for the end game, but if he's at 193 right now, he's in a decent range. I don't think there's going to be too many issues. Meanwhile, over on
Taralyn.
Yeah, she can still grind with that. I mean, she does have the White Mage up. It's just that White Mage is going to be a little ahead, so probably going to need an extra battle or two. But yeah, it could be worse. It does happen. I mean, I've had it happen too, where only one mage survives the Thundara. I mean, but yeah, she's still set up. She can still do the grind without any major issues going forward. Does lose a little bit of time, but at the same time, Taralyn has gained back. She did gain back probably a good minute or 2 minutes after Shin's little adventure with the Mind Flayers, so she's not out of it yet.
It seems like Taralyn's had a lesson in Murphy's Law.
Well, exactly. I mean, FF1 PSP is all about Murphy's Law. Anything that you think, oh, it'll never happen to me in this game, it's probably going to happen to you your very next run. Taralyn getting a very beefy White Mage right now. Yeah, so that's why the grind might take a little longer for her, because of that death, the White Mage is a level ahead, so probably need an extra fight or two just to make sure that she's not short on experience. Okay, and Shin gonna do another safety save here. A lot of people in the race are gonna do a safety save going through this desert, and that's only because there is a chance we could run into a sandworm at that point. Sandworms one thing they can do is they have an Earthquake spell, and again, there is a possibility that that could wipe the entire party. Not something that we'd want, especially if our last safety save was in the Cavern of Ice. So in a race, you're going to see a lot of people doing a safety save there. Just, again, it's not something that happens all the time, but again, Murphy's Law. So Shin is making his way now to the Castle of Ordeals, where we are going to have to do another tiny little fetch quest. We do want to please the King of the Dragons, and to do that, we need, for some reason, to pick up a token of courage, which is a rat's tail.
Also known as the Bahamut delicacy.
Exactly.
We don't know why he wants this rat's tail. He just wants it.
Yeah, there could be so many things he wants, but no, he's fixated on a rat's tail. So there is a teleporter maze here. Easiest thing, if there's two teleporters, you're always going to pick the bottom one. And even here, we're just going to pick the bottom one right here, all the way down, and before that, Shin's going to run into an unrunnable encounter, Minotaur zombies. And we haven't seen too many unrunnable encounters up to this point, pretty much the Psycho Demons. But now we are going to be seeing a lot more unrunnable encounters, which is why we are glitching these extra items. We've glitched the Mage's Staff, we've glitched the Black Robe. We are going to be wanting to use these to get through these encounters faster. We only want to use the Judgment Staff at this point if we need to, and basically if we need to deal that amount of damage to kill the enemies. But if not, we're going to be using one of the other items.
Shin suddenly having a little bit of RNG go against him with the random encounters there.
Right, and ordeals can be pretty quick, especially with teleporter rooms. There's actually a pretty good chance you might not get any encounters at all on that floor. But encounter rate can be a little high here, and Taralyn seeing that sandworm, luckily getting away right off the bat. And the sandworm it looks imposing to begin with for some reason. It's just that huge mouth, that gaping mouth. It's like, you know, it can mess you up.
Yep, its biggest threat is the Earthquake skill, which is instant death and will kill us at this stage. Yeah.
Thankfully, didn't happen, and Shin just picks up some gauntlets there. So, as far as all the elemental magic goes, we have it all covered now. And now we have the Rat's Tail. Just have to take care of one trap tile right here with some dragon zombies on it. Gets two. Yeah, but again, we're strong enough with the Lust Dagger and Barbarian Sword. These will be one-hit kills. And next thing we gotta do is get our class change upgrade.
Ooh, and that was the Mega Elixir drop from the dragon zombies on Shin's side.
Yeah, that is not common at all. I mean, it happens, but Shin, that is a nice little backup to have just in case later on. So just one more trip through this desert for Shin, and then he will be cashing in that Rat's Tail. Taralyn right behind, though. Taralyn, like I said, has made up some good ground. I mean, probably a good 4, maybe even 5 minutes back. She is catching up slowly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And depending on how RNG goes, she could still take the lead. Especially as we enter the final dungeon. That is the great equalizer.
Absolutely. Having a 2-3 minute lead, even if you're going into the last dungeon, it doesn't mean a thing. It's a cushion. It's not a guarantee. It's just a little bit of a cushion. Taralyn having a little bit of trouble getting away from those horned devils. And meanwhile, Shin now has his class change, and we are going to be putting the Lordly Robes on. Lordly Robes are one of the few items that will not glitch out the game. They actually do have a blocking animation associated with them for some reason, so just in case the White Mage was to block anything, it's not going to soft lock the game, so no issues there.
And Taralyn not picking up those gauntlets. So Golden Staff not in Taralyn's future? Question mark?
Well, I don't... My stream did freeze for a second after Provoka, but I don't think she picked up the letter shield, so I don't think she's going on those strats. She does have Lust Dagger, but...
Yep. And you may have noticed that she fought that dragon zombie twice. She wanted to make sure that her mages were high enough level so she could learn the level 5 magic from Melmond immediately.
Right. And what Shin's doing right now is we're just getting some maintenance out of the way here. We went to the caravan, so went to go pick up the fairy bottle as well as some giant tonics, which will be used only for the final battle. But what Shin's going to be doing now is he's just going to be unlocking the access to the Sunken Shrine by getting the Oxale. But what Shin will be doing after this is he'll be hightailing it to take on the volcano and to take on Marilith.
Taralyn had... Oh,
Oops.
autopilot. You can't run from this.
And this isn't an encounter that you think would be an unrunnable, but it is. If you're just facing Hellhounds by themselves, you can run. If it's Ogre Mages with anything else, you can run. But Hellhounds plus Ogre Mages, no go. You gotta fight.
Yep. Did she turn in her Rat's Tail later? I don't remember her route.
I would think she does. I would hope she didn't forget. But yeah, she's gonna go to Caravan first. Gets her Giant's Tonics, so... I would assume next stop's gonna be the class change. As Shin is in the volcano, you're gonna notice that our runners are gonna be trying to step on as many damage tiles as possible. That's because you cannot get a random encounter on a damage tile. So basically, even though we're taking a lot of damage going over those, there's no chance of getting a random encounter. So the less encounters in this dungeon, the better, which is why it's not uncommon to see somebody get rid of Marilith in about 2 minutes after they enter.
And Shin used that Mega Elixir to fully heal his party there.
Yeah, smart move. I mean, like I said, it's not a necessity in this route. I mean, there's still a chance to get from those dragon zombies, but if you have it, I mean, it's a free heal, so use it when you need to. And Shin's going to be taking on Marilith now. Unlike Lich, you're going to notice that we did not safety save, because there's no need to. This is just going to be slash at her until she dies.
All right, we definitely have some route divergence here. Taralyn opting still not to do class change. Going to do Mount Gold next.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised, mainly because I didn't watch the full restream of our match that we had last week, so I'm not entirely certain if this is the route that Taralyn used. You're usually not going to see too much route divergence in this, but this is a pretty big one. So even though if you're looking, you're thinking, oh, Taralyn's caught up with Shin, only about a minute behind or so, she still has to do her class change. She also has to heal up. And Taralyn is completely out of potions, so... Ooh, fire elementals.
Too bad they are not the 1 in 64 on this final floor of the dungeon. If this was the previous floor, it would be.
Still bit of a time killer because they are unrunnable, and a 4 Minotaur ambush right before Merilith. Eesh. Meanwhile, on Shin's side, he is going to be doing our spell shopping, so in this route, there's only 3 spells that we're actually going to be picking up. We're going to be picking up Haste because it's Haste. We're going to be picking up Hilara because we do need some healing magic. And we're going to be picking up Teleport because it's going to save us some time. And key thing to a speedrun, want to go fast. Teleport's going to help us cut down some time, and we're going to see that in just a few seconds, actually, as Shin is making his way over to the town of Onrak, where we will enter the Sunken Shrine. Taralyn should be right behind him, but again, I'm suspecting that she's going to have to do the class change first. And her spell shopping. Meanwhile, over on Shin's side, this is another unrunnable encounter. Ice Gigas and Winter Wolf. He is just going to slash and get rid of them. Other alternative here would be to use a Judgment Staff. So, Shin is entering Sunken Shrine. Now, we were talking about how we have the odd unrunnable encounter. Well, there's a couple of them in this dungeon. And again, this is where Taralyn could pick up a little bit of time if Shin gets unlucky with the RNG. But we are going to have to make a trip upstairs first because there is a progression item that we do need.
All right, well, Taralyn's doing her shopping. She still has not class changed, so right now she's going to realize I can't get teleport yet.
Yeah, I just realized that. Hilara she can get, but yeah.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
I think there's that realization.
Yeah, I don't think this was a route divergence, unfortunately. I think this was, maybe a little bit of a miscue.
Forgot.
So on Shin's side, he picked up the Rosetta Stone, which we are going to need to Again, it's a progression item. We're going to be cashing that in shortly, but again, that's why we use teleport. Just get through 2 floors with no trouble at all. And now Shin's going to be going downstairs and making his way towards the 3rd being Kraken. And Ghost on Shin's side. Again, this is one of the unrunnable encounters, and if we're playing the vanilla game, Ghosts you don't want to run into because they hit like a truck. But right now, 1 Mage Staff Blast, and again, only takes a couple seconds to cast, get through the battle, move on.
My apologies, I am yawning. I am tired.
Oh, I'm probably
Yeah,
going to be tired in the morning, but... Oh, Shin's finding a second unrunnable. This one, Sahagin Princess and Sahagin Chief. Again, we are just going to use the gauntlets here. 1-shot KO for the whole batch. And Shin runs into Water Naga and Water Elemental. That's actually runnable, but Water Elementals by themselves are not.
Shin's getting some decent RNG in the Sunken Shrine.
Yeah, decent.
Not terrible.
I mean, there's enough
not
unrunnables.
Terrible.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, not terrible, not great, but not terrible.
No, I mean, the thing is, there are enough unrunnables in the Sunken Shrine where you probably are going to run into a couple of them, but again, if it's just a couple, and here we go, a couple more ghosts.
Fortunately, the ghosts only have about 180 hit points, so they're not too much of a tanky threat. They just can hit like a truck, though, like you mentioned earlier. Fortunately, since we have so much defense, that's pretty much a non-factor.
Exactly. But if anyone's just playing this game for the first time, oh, Ghost, they shouldn't be that much trouble. They're just undead. They're probably just going to stun me or something. No, they're gonna kick your butt. So Shin is now going to be doing another piece of equipment management there, is we are going to be giving people the survival vest again. 1 more upgrade to our defense. And runs into a couple more ghosts. Speaking of ghosts, Taralyn runs into 5. So Shin just making his way through the last part of the floor here, and he is going to be facing Kraken. Again, we're not going to be safety saving. In fact, we actually might not see a safety save by anybody until, well, maybe right before Tiamat. But all the fiends after Lich, all the fiends, really no problem at all. You're just going to slash at them until they die.
And I didn't pay the closest attention, but it looked like Shin had a 0 encounter final floor.
I do believe it was unbelievable, and that is possible. I mean, Final Fantasy, it is possible. Certainly later levels, it's easy just to see going through a room, go through a floor, not get a single encounter, only get 1 encounter. But that Shin, you know, all those little unrunnables that he got earlier on, that more than made up for it. And Shin's talking about it being a spooky shrine, and yeah, I guess he's right. Taralyn is... Yeah, Taralyn is putting a shield. You can put a survival vest in the shield slot. Again, that is one of the items that will work there. Although I'm not sure why, because we are going to be using that shield slot for the ribbon. In fact, Shin's going to be going to get that right now, along with the warp cube.
Yeah, ribbon, survival vest, lordly robes, feathered cap, they all are safe on that shield slot. And I think there's still a couple other items, but I didn't test them all. And Shin, forgetting where he's going.
Yeah, just go straight left. Straight left, Shin. Waterfall Cavern does have a pretty high encounter rate. Again, for somebody who just playing the game for the first time, they're probably going to get lost in here. But again, easiest thing to do, we're just going straight right and until we can go down, and that's going to lead us to the only treasure room at all in this cave and the one that we need to go to. And there is our ribbon. So this is going to be, aside from the end of the game, this is going to be the last time we're going to be doing some equipment glitching. This one is a little different because we only have one ribbon. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be glitching the ribbon into its weapon counterpart, which is the Gigantaxe. And then using that, we're going to be able to go ahead and duplicate the ribbon, which will go into the shield slot. So right now we are just going to give the Knight Ninja the ribbon for now, but they are set up and ready to go. So like I said, no, aside until the end, there's not going to be any more equipment glitching. Right now it's just going to be a mad dash to take out Tiamat. And then Chaos Shrine, the Great Equalizer. Meanwhile, over on Taralyn's side, she has just taken down Kraken. So, again, she had made up some time, but little bit of what looks to be a mistake there for getting the class change. That's cost her a bit of time, but again, she's not out of it yet.
I have a feeling there's some general fatigue going on all around because Shin got lost again on the world map. Couldn't find where Melman was.
Yeah, it's a little surprising. But Shin at least did find where Dr. Un was. So after just a couple of seconds of talking to him, we now know Lufinian, which means that we're going to be able to go and get the last progression item that we need in the game, which is the Chime. And again, the walk to this place could either be really quick and easy, or it could be a slog, because there are a lot of chances to get Minotaur zombie encounters here, and they are unrunnables.
And Shin in chat confirming that he is super tired. I mean, just imagine if he had been fully awake, because he's had some great RNG this run.
Well, at the moment, even if Shin's saying he's a little tired right now, you know, he's been doing pretty well. And here's the Minotaur zombies right now, but he's been doing pretty well, so I mean, if it's just going to affect him just a little bit, he can take a few seconds to yawn if he needs to. So Shin is making his walk over to Lithuania to get that chime. Meanwhile, Taralyn is making her way over in the Waterfall Cavern. And yeah, that is pretty common in the Waterfall Cavern to just take a couple of steps and get another encounter. Okay, so Shin gets his chime, so again, just a mad dash. They just have 2 more dungeons to go, so and luckily the Mirage Tower is just not that far away. In fact, it's going to be on the airship for like 1.5 seconds, maybe 2 getting there.
Wow, the robot's in a great position for Taralyn.
Okay, picked up the ribbon. Okay, so she'll...
Yeah, we don't want to forget that. There's still 1 more ribbon in play that she could get as a backup.
True, but
it is out of the
still...
It's out of the way.
Way out of the way. I mean, again, not gonna say that you would be wanting to forget that or anything like that, but you know, seeing at how the race has gone right now, Taralyn does need to have, you know, to be honest, she does need to make sure her execution's on point from now to the end, so forgetting that would probably be game, set, and match, I think, at this point. But she didn't. Okay, so Shin is at the Mirage Tower, which is going to link to the Flying Fortress. So this is the final dungeon that, or the final Fiend, rather, that we need to take out before the Chaos Shrine. And yes, as you saw in there, vampires are back. However, the way the game works... Ooh.
The 9 monster ambush. That is the worst.
For sure. Now, granted, we have the ribbon now on our Knight and Thief, so basically, if Shin... At this point, Shin isn't worried too much about these guys wiping the party, because that's not going to happen. But at the same time, any 9 monster ambush, doesn't matter what they are, it's a time sink. And a second ambush right after that with the vampires.
Friendly neighborhood blue dragon.
Right, that is a trap tile, so Shin does take care of the gatekeeper there, and onto the Flying Fortress.
They're back.
Yep, Evil Eyes, and nope, don't even think about running from them.
Yep. And meanwhile, on Taralyn's side, the Minotaur zombies are just out in full force today.
Yeah, she's run into a few on her way to Lithuania.
All right, chat, it is time. We need some blessed RNG and Warmac hype.
Yeah, Shin almost close to the Bridge of Destiny there, and we're gonna see if we get a Warmech. Getting every other robot possible except for Warmech at the moment. And safety save, nice.
Good call, good call.
And no.
Oh, no. Sad face.
We're still going to have a chance in a few minutes on Taralyn's side, but meanwhile, Shin does only make it through with one encounter, is going to take on Tiamat right now, and this should be over. Well, is going to haste the ninja, probably a good idea. Tiamat does have a lot of hit points, and this should be a one round, yep.
Warmech is a very famous 1 in 64 ultra rare encounter. Also noticeable or noteworthy because it has 32,000 experience and gold as a reward, the most of any monster in the game. But also just because on the NES version it will kill you, even when you're farming it.
Yeah, it's not that we do want to see Warmechs. I mean, they're a great sighting, and I mean, at least we do have the parties that are able to take them out. But at the same time, it is a bit of a gamble, which is also why we take the safety save there, because they could still wreck us. So, with Shin taking care of Tiamat, that means that we're just one airship ride away from the end. We are going to the Chaos Shrine for the final dungeon.
Shin looks like he's on pace for about a 135. 133, 135, something like that.
Yeah, 133, 135, going to depend on how the last couple of how the next few floors go, how many unrunnables, because there are quite a few in Chaos Shrine. Meanwhile, over on Taralyn's side, she has a beefy white mage, 424 hit points on that.
Whoa. Her black mage, not so fortunate, only at 162. Taralyn will have to use Giant's Tonics on the black mage, it looks like, once we get to the end. Her ninja's in good shape, though. Not worried about that.
Yeah, ninja's not so bad. Again, it's a judgment call still at that point. Do I tonic, do I not? But I think she'll be in good shape. Shin seeing the first unrunnable, purple worms. Great for experience, but can't run.
And they also drop the emergency exit, and Shin gets one.
Yeah, the one time in the game when we don't need it, and we get it. And 4 white dragons, which is not an encounter you want to see. We can run from them, but at the same time, they can also do some big damage. Although, with full hit points, Shin probably would have been able to survive that. But if they all decide to hit Ice Storm on you, not fun.
All right, a little bit of Bliss RNG for Taralyn. We want a Warmech to bless this tournament.
And no. Both of them have Neochus. And both of them got the same encounter.
That's unfortunate.
Okay, so Shin has taken care of the Death Eye, or that's known in the NES version, the Phantom, and now all of a sudden we have to play that loot to get to the staircase here. Don't ask me why, but now we're making a run here, and Shin is running into all the unrunnables. Had Dragon Zombies, and now we have the Ice Gigas Winter Wolf combo, and again, because of how many hit points that the Ice Gigas has, we have to Judgment Staff this group.
If his White Mage was intelligence boosted, the Mage's Staff would be able to take care of it, but I don't know if they have Lordly Robes on, so Judgment Staff is definitely the safe way to go.
Yeah.
Ice Gigas has about 360 hit points, I want to say. Something like that.
Around there. It's mid to high 300s. And more Dragon Zombies, and it's not uncommon, especially on the second floor of Chaos Temple. It is not a Chaos Shrine, not uncommon at all to get multiple unrunnables.
Oh, second to final tile, Taralyn got the battle. Not a Warmech. Feels bad, man.
Yeah, there is the slight chance after we beat Tiamat, there is that slight chance that on the way out we can still get a Warmech.
Yep. But because of the map transition, it's very unlikely.
Okay, so now Shin has made his way into the basement, and each floor has it's basically a boss rush at this point. Each floor is linked. For example, basement 1 is an earth floor, runs into earth elementals right off the bat, which is unrunnable, and again, Judgment Staff for the kill. But just like Lich was the most dangerous one of the Fiends when we started the game, in the refights, he still is one of the most dangerous Fiends, because last time he could just Blizzara us into oblivion. This time he can flare us into oblivion, so you are likely going to see Shin taking a safety save in just a second.
At least I would hope so.
I would hope so too, because even though we have ribbons on, flare is non-elemental.
Ooh, low damage rolls, but he's going to survive.
Yep, no issues there. Lich decided to attack first. It is a 2-round Lich, but that is the most dangerous Fiend down, so now it's just gonna be a race to get to Chaos. Taralyn on her side had a pretty good run through the first couple of floors, playing the loot pretty quickly, so she is still a couple minutes behind, but she has made up some ground.
Yep. Shin had quite the number of unrunnables on this particular floor. Taralyn has one of them now with the Dragon Zombies.
Yep. Shin will take on Marilith again. No big trick here. Even though she's using our Firaga right now, we have the defense. Oh, it took out her took out Shin's Black Mage, but it's not as deadly as it can be. It's elemental, so
yep.
The Knight and the Thief, Knight and Ninja are going to absorb it with the ribbons, so no big deal.
4 White Dragon ambush on Taralyn's side. This is looking dangerous.
Except for her White Mage, which has enough hit points to survive that, thankfully. Meanwhile, over on Shin's side, this is the water elemental fight we were talking about before. Does Shin have the black robe? Yes. Okay. Black robe is what we want. Only takes a second or two to cast. And they are done. So as Taralyn makes her way towards the Lich, Shin is going to be taking out Kraken. And no special trick to this, just slash and kill.
I'm a little surprised Shin didn't haste his ninja for a possible 1 round, but in the end, no real-time loss.
No, but I would hope that he hastes right now, because Tiamat does have a lot of hit points.
And by a lot, that is 5,500.
Yeah. Dwarfing everything we've seen so far, so around 2,500 on the first round. And Scourge, nope, doesn't take anybody out. It's going to be a 3-round Tiamat, but no issues there for Shin. Just going to be taking one more trip to the menu, and then it's going to be time for Chaos. Before that, though, Purple Worm time.
Taralyn's ninja is in complete safety range, doesn't have to worry about it. Her black mage is still in death range. Like he could, the black mage could still die to blaze. Shin's black mage not in much better condition.
Nope. So now Shin is just going to be making sure everybody's healed up. Just want to make sure that our white mage is set up correctly. What we want to do is we want to make sure that the white mage has a fantastic chance of going last in the battle. We don't want the white mage healing before chaos attacks. We want to give it the least agility possible. So, yeah, ribbon on there. Okay, golden staff as well.
Looks like he is set. Final safety save. Taralyn making up a lot of time in the dungeon, though.
She is, but again, what she's going to need to hope for is she's going to need to hope for a really trolly chaos right now.
Yeah, probably 1 reset from Shin to have a realistic chance of taking this victory.
What Shin's going to be hoping to see at the start of the battle, you're going to be hoping to see either a physical attack or his first spell on the list, which would be Blizzara. So let's see. Yeah, he is going to tonic his mage and ninja. White mage is going to heal, and black mage is going to start buffing everyone with haste.
Okay, Blaze, this is good. Everyone should survive.
Everyone does survive, but it's not so much the first attack chaos as it's going to be how does he follow it up, because if he decides to go through his skill list, and here we go, Tsunami. Okay, physical by chaos is good. That actually should put him in good shape, because aside from the warrior, everyone will be completely healed up on his Hilara. So it looks right now like Shin is in good shape. It's basically going to be hold down A and, well, here's Cyclone though.
And watch the skills.
Yeah. Here's the Cyclone. I mean, I would think he's in good shape, but we're gonna see.
He's
Yep.
in good shape, but Chaos are just not giving good RNG today. Taralyn is in much better position, but I think the lack of that gauntlet from the Citadel Trials is going to come back to hurt her, because now she just has the Sage's Staff. Not quite as good as the Golden Staff, I think. I could be wrong, though. And she's going to start her Chaos fight.
We'll see how it goes on Taralyn's side, but Shin is almost done with Chaos. And that is it. So Shin has finished. Official SRL time is going to be 1 hour, 35 minutes, and 52 seconds. And Shin stays alive in the tournament, taking down Chaos.
What was the SRL time?
1:35:52.
Okay. GG to Shin. And unfortunately, we will not have a real time from Taralyn because her timer seems to have disappeared. But she is going to finish strong right behind them.
Yeah, Taralyn had just a little bit of an issue with her timer because we actually did have a false start because Taralyn had a little bit of an issue right off the bat, so we did have to do a very quick restart, so that's why.
Understandable, those things happen. And Taralyn looks like she's pretty much in hold A2 win mode. Just got to haste her Black Mage and is set. And it looks like I was totally wrong on that Sage's Staff. The Healara is doing just as much as it would with the Golden Staff. I am not qualified to run this game.
No. Hey, I was a little surprised when I saw she was doing Sage's Staff. I was like, okay. Don't see anyone do this often, so we'll see.
Well, I knew it boosted intelligence. I just didn't think it boosted as much as the Golden Staff. Yes, Taralyn does Black Mage route.
Yeah, that's why. And that will do it. So Taralyn will take... she does finish. SRL time will be 1 hour, 38 minutes, 41 seconds. So Taralyn with a good showing. However, that will be the end of her run in the tournament. She does finish. SRL time will be 1 hour, 38 minutes, 41 seconds. And I do believe we have Shin in the booth. Shin, great job.
Thank you, thank you. That was an unusual run. It started off pretty well, then got really good, and then Lich happened, and then Ice Cavern, and then it ended up being closer than it looked like it was going to be. But Tara did a great job. Tara just got wrecked by RNG. You could tell.
Yeah, what basically happened was that first 20-30 minutes. Oh, and I do believe we do have Taralyn in here as well. GG.
Yeah, thanks.
Good job, Tara. My execution was not great that run. I just had some really good RNG early on. my favorite thing at the very beginning of the game, I accidentally bought too many potions and had to go make another knight's armor to sell so I could actually buy all my stuff.
No, believe me, you had it way better off than I did. I forgot the nitro powder. I forgot the class change. I forgot a couple other things.
Oh, wow.
I didn't get here until after you guys were already on your way to Lich the first time. So I wasn't sure what happened in the first 25 minutes, but it looked like that Shin's RNG just won this match. Execution be damned.
Yeah. Like, when I got to Lich, of course he Blizzarded me, because that's what Lich does with me. I actually have rebound my gamepad in the game, because I have it set, when I hit the back button on my Xbox One controller, it resets my timer. I just unbound that, because it just kept making me forfeit from races every time I did the quick reset command. But,
honestly, oh, go on. I didn't know you weren't finished.
But basically, he took me out, and I was still a minute ahead after fighting him the second time. And then, Cavern of Ice, I got wiped twice. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah,
Yes.
by the time I got to Lich, I figured I was so far behind, I figured, screw it, YOLO. And wouldn't you know, it'd be the one fight where I'd managed to one-round him and he didn't even manage to get a hit in.
Yeah, I noticed there was no safety save there.
Yeah, my standout great split for me was that Sunken Shrine. It was only like 20 seconds off my gold. I had a bunch of ghosts, but ghosts are fast.
The final floor there, that was encounter free, wasn't it?
It might have been, yeah. It was kind of ludicrous. I had like 4 ghost encounters, but ghosts go really quick. And like, it wasn't until I had actually teleported back to the 3rd floor and started going down that I hit my first unrunnable encounter. So it was that split was really good.
Yeah, because when we were watching, I mean, when you had that trouble in Cavern of Ice, when you had the mind flares, you're watching, and I'm thinking going at first, okay, this is excellent. Taking care of the warrior, taking care of the thief.
Yes, exactly. And I kept thinking to myself, you know, I've sunk this much time into this fight. You know, I'm going to try to pull a Kib here and just see if that Black Mage can survive. But I did name it Bonsai, so, you know, or Banzai. So that was my problem.
That's always going to come back to haunt you.
Yeah, Shin, Taralyn actually had a much better HP position than you. Her Black Mage had 420 HP. Her Ninja and Fighter were both over 300. Unfortunately, her Black Mage, I think you were still at 160 something when you entered Chaos. But you were in great position, Taralyn, for HP.
It's weird. My Black Mage was awesome at the end of the grind, and it went up like 10 the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Not only that, but one of the dragon zombie fights in Temple of Fiends, I got a Mega Elixir drop, so I had a safety there.
I actually picked one up too. I used mine.
Shin got his from the Citadel encounter and used that in Gulg. Sorry.
I swear, about the only thing that didn't go right as far as fighting was I couldn't get haste on the ninja.
Well, one thing, like, because we're noticing, I mean, when it was time for Lich, when Shin beat Lich, I would say you were probably around 4 or 5 minutes behind at that point, Taralyn. But you did make up time. You were chipping away at time. Again, the class change, Shin and I were just thinking, okay, a bit of a route divergence here. But when you went to go pick up that teleport, what were you thinking?
Why didn't Lich wipe me?
But you were, in all honesty, though, you did. I know the RNG wasn't that strong, but you did make up time going forward. I mean, you know, it wasn't looking great at first, but you did have a really good second half, though. And you know, this is unfortunately is your last match in the tournament. But what do you think? What do you think of your experience?
Honestly, it was good until just general burnout hit. It wasn't due to the tournament by itself. It was just stuff at large has been hitting me. Honestly, if I would have advanced, I probably would have withdrew from the tournament because I barely have the energy to keep going these days.
Well, we definitely wish you all the best. We know that you've been, you've been helping out a lot. Taralyn's been helping out not just racing, but she's also been doing commentary as well. But Taralyn, like I said, it's great. It's been great having you around in the tournament. And again, not only do we hope you're back next year, we definitely wish you all the best going forward.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be taking a break from speedrunning this, because usually when I take breaks, I lop minutes off my time. But if I've got time to spare for the rest of this tournament, I'll drop in on commentary and stuff.
We'd love to hear you. It's always great having you on voice.
Absolutely. And with this win, though, Shin, you are advancing. You're advancing to the second round of losers bracket. So that's the good news. Now, your opponent in the next round is poor Skype.
I've gone against Kib 3 times. I don't. Ugh.
Yeah, you've got to get Kib 3 times. So really, what's poor Skype for you? You know?
Yeah. Now, Forsyth, if you remember, just had the closest race of the tournament against Cruel with a 9-second difference this previous round. Actually, no, it was this round. It was just recently.
Yeah, I need to beat Forsyth because I was going to break Kib's heart if she doesn't get to kill me again later on in the tournament. Like, Kib's favorite pastime is beating up on Shin.
Well, Shin, you want some more irony? Should you advance and beat Forsyth, and should I advance and beat Crusader, you're going to be facing me in the next round.
Did Kib beat you?
Bob, no. RNG and Leo destroyed me, along with internet issues or lack of working internet.
Well, you and I still need our final battle. Because we're 1-1 against each other. But yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and let everyone have the channel back. I am dead on my feet. I've been working 2 jobs is hard. But going to go and bid everyone a good night. But thanks everyone for tuning in, and thank you all so much for keeping it entertaining there on The Voice.
No problem at all, Shin. Taralyn, you have any shout-outs?
Not really, but I'm sure y'all did a good job on voice. Obviously, I wasn't listening in while I was trying to play, but I'll definitely be checking the VOD and stuff.
I tried.
And I will say thanks to Fiesel and all the speed gaming mods and admins for helping broadcast this and get it out there.
Absolutely. Definitely big thanks to Fiesel and Speed Gaming, not just for streaming tonight's match, not just for the whole tournament, but also for fitting us in earlier today. I had to use Speed Gaming 5 because if nobody's noticed, there is a lot of Zelda action going on. In fact, this is the final race of the day on Speed Gaming, but tomorrow there is going to be a lot of action, including, last I checked, about 6 matches in the Link to the Past No Major Glitches tournament. So there is going to be a lot of action there. And as far as our tournament goes, there's going to be 6 matches coming up this week, I would believe, 2 in the winner's bracket, 4 in the loser's bracket. So those should be scheduled within the next couple of days. So
actually, a little bit of forewarning on that. 2 of those are going to be delayed until the next week. I will be in Ohio for Speedrunners Expo. I will not be available at all this week. And Leonis and Cruel has BSG going on. Yeah. And Leo has something else. I forget what it was exactly. But yeah, so 2 of those matches aren't going to happen this week. The other 4, I think, will, but we'll see.
I would assume. I mean, we do know it is going to be a long weekend for a lot of people coming up, Easter weekend coming up, but we will do our best, so everyone check the schedule. Again, definitely continue to support speed gaming. Again, great thanks to everybody running the channel. And Lano, you have anything else to say?
I do not. I have to go to bed because I have a 12-hour shift in the morning.
Right, and I need to be up in about 5 hours to go to work, so that's probably a good idea. So, everybody, thanks for watching. Wish you all have a great night, and we'll see you soon.
All right,
Yep.
good night, all.
One last thing I will say, Speed Gaming 5? At this rate, we're going to have Speed Gaming 8 the Ocho by June or something.
There's already a speed gaming game.
Later,
I think
y'all.
they're up to what? They have 16 or 32? It's about that. But anyways, take care, everyone. Good night.
Night.